there's a big travel component to this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how did that, because there's a lot of clubs out there and a lot of different clubs inside clubs, but how did the travel component come up? And was that linked with the whole concept for this club?
It absolutely was. It's a big part of the concept. We actually see it, if you look at the physical location, we think of this like a country club, without the golf course. And instead of the golf course, we've replaced it with travel. So, but the premise behind why travel is so important to the club is that it's really trying to put like-minded people together on a trip somewhere they've never been to kind of really force them to immerse themselves in something new, but also meet people that really might change, the trajectory of their life.
And part of the story is you and Scott having met someone talking about going on another trip together, and it just happened to be, hey, let's go to Africa, which are on a lot of bucket lists, but way into the future, if maybe somehow I need somebody else to plan it. That was, tell me about that story, about how that really ignited the flame for here.
Absolutely. So for years, I started buying Scott gifts for Christmas that were hunting trips, because what else do you buy someone who seemingly has everything? You're not sure what to get them.
He's got you and 3 girls. He has everything, right?
So I sent him on a hunting trip in Alaska, and while he was there, he happened to meet another gentleman named Robert, and they were on Kodiak Island, so there's not a whole lot to do. So before they headed out to camp, they would meet at night for dinner and got to know one another better. And at the end of the trip, Robert said, we should definitely see each other again, go hunting, that type of thing. And Scott said, yeah, people always say that, but they really never reconnect. So a couple months pass, Robert reaches out to Scott and invited us on a trip to Africa. And I remember exactly where I was. I was sitting at work, and I said, yeah, let's go. And that's what we did. We just took a leap of faith and went on this trip with people we didn't know other than Robert. I didn't even know Robert at that point. But we went to Africa, had the most exceptional experience of our lives. And I was standing in our lodge room, and I looked at Scott and I said, this is absolutely changing our life, like for the future, because what I see is people taking a leap of faith, going on a trip to somewhere they never knew that they wanted to go, and having this transformational experience, really. So that was really the impetus behind Adventure Unknown. Yeah.
Was there something specific or something you can recall about Africa that just, it hit you?
Yeah. It's just stunning location. You just take it in and you think, where are we? It's just absolutely beautiful. Sunsets can't be beat. And it's the people. The people are just the kindest, most friendly people. So I just think that right there helps set the perfect stage for us to be there with other people that we didn't know and help us really kind of be able to relax and cultivate those relationships.
And you have a full-time job. You're a physician's assistant. I know your husband, at some point prior to this, right? Chiropractic, had several different practices and offices. You were both busy.
Yeah.
So what was that like to decide we're going to go on this adventure and start this new club?
I have no idea why or how Scott and I are different than a lot of people, in that we love to travel and find it easy to say yes to travel. It seems like it's really hard for a lot of people to say, I can't because of X, Y, or Z, work, kids, whatever. But I don't know, for some reason, Scott and I, we just feel compelled to travel the world. So we're starting to try to take our kids on more of these bigger trips because we want them to kind of feel that same passion for the world. Because it's not just about the United States, it's about connecting with other cultures, really, letting that transform your life too.